OMT Online Dynasty, we are back for our Week 10 game of the week, headed to some Conference USA action with the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns, headed up by Vancy, taking on the Rice Owls, coached by Taxi Cab. Huge clash here in the Conference USA as we're heading down the final stretch of the season. Louisiana's coming into this game 7-1. Who's their one loss to? Glad you asked. It was ODU, our Monarch boys, but undefeated in conference, 4-0 coming into this game. Rice is hanging on, trying to find that last spot in the conference title game. They are currently 5-3 coming into this one, 2-1 in conference, and right in between the two sits Texas State, who we just saw, already comfortably at 5-1. Only one conference game left for them. Worst they can do is 5-2. So Rice at 2-1. If we lose this one and drop down to 2-2, your room for error is completely gone. They have to win out. This is a massive game for Rice and even for Louisiana to keep this lead. If Rice pulls this one off, then they'll both have one loss in conference, and it is going to be a total toss-up between those three on who the final two are going to be. Huge game, huge implications, both very fun teams. Louisiana, of course, we played against them back in like week 1 or 2 or something. It was way at the beginning of the season. They were in the Navy playbook. I think at that time they might have been in Air Force, but they're in the Army playbook now. That much I can tell you for sure. In the 4-2-5 defense, Rice is going to be in the Oregon State offense, base 3-4 defense. Let's go ahead and just look at the depth charts of these teams and kind of see what we can expect. We'll go over conference standings and everything at the end because this game happened already. I don't want to spoil anything that happens in the game, so let's go check out the squads. Starting with the visitors, the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns. And I will note I'm doing this part now. I'm doing the actual commentary later, so I might have a special guest, a little 6-year-old who might have some input from time to time. So just a heads up on that. But Louisiana, I'm pretty sure they were in Air Force when we played. The more I'm thinking about it, but they are in the Army offense now, led by this total freak show of a quarterback, Jawan Johnson. Only a 78 overall, but in a Service Academy playbook with 92 speed, 94 excel, 92 agility, 92 change of direction, and those abilities. This is exactly why when we went up against Louisiana, we set everything on defense B. You are not beating us with this quarterback. I'll be interested to see if Rice has a similar strategy on the defensive side of the ball, but we were just... You're not this guy. Just not this guy. You could do anything else you wanted. We were just not letting you get that quarterback going. At halfback, he's got some pretty solid threats here too, though, with Bill Davis, an elusive bruiser like this, to have shifty head first, still 88 speed, to pair with a quarterback like he's got. Pretty dang good for a Service Academy playbook. Let's see his wide receivers. I think they're pretty good. They sure are. Shelton Sampson Jr., 95 speed with gold takeoff. And Russell Babineau, 93 speed. Only 5'8", but Sampson 6'4" with that speed. And you really do only need 2 receivers for the most part to really be able to run a good Army, Navy, Air Force type of offense. You typically aren't going to have too many more than 2 receivers on the field at the same time. And you don't really use tight ends too much. The Amish beard of Tristan O'Brien kind of threw me off there for a second. But if you are going to have tight ends, having a good pure blocker like this is pretty nice too. And pair it with a receiving threat like Jaden Johnson. I really like how Louisiana set his team up here, keeping in mind the style of offense that we're going to see in this one. Let's see, offensive line, I mean, it's pretty standard across the board. We don't really see too much. He did move a couple guys around here. He's got a guard playing center, a center playing guard, probably just abilities in certain spots or overall wise. But I mean, that's a pretty standard offensive line for what we see for these teams. For anybody who just happens to be new, I probably should have done this in the before we got into the teams. But we do have a 32-user online dynasty. We've been split into 4 8-team conferences, so we play everybody once, so you're guaranteed 7-user games. And then we have time before the season to set up your out-of-conference schedule, so you can play as many user games as you want, between 7 and 12. We ended up with 11, for example, at Old Dominion. We did have a CPU game against Northern Illinois that we simmed and lost. But, you know, those things happen. Defensive line, Louisiana. Let's get back into it. No quick jumps, no pocket disruptors, just a few workhorses. More workhorses. He's got workhorses everywhere. His whole defense is filled with workhorses. Linebackers, 6'5", 81 speed. It's like maybe a touch slow, but being 6'5" is going to make up for a lot of that. And a nice 86 speed middle linebacker here with Edwards, and wrap up is a nice ability to have. 84 speed on our will linebacker. So we're definitely seeing kind of across the board. I feel like almost every game of the week we've seen linebacking. The speed of the linebackers has gone up and up and up as we get more control of these rosters. ODU is very similar. Now at corner, we've got 6 foot tall, knockout 91 speed. Okay, 6'1", 89 speed. I like the height we're seeing from his secondary, and pretty solid speed across the board. Should be able to keep up with whatever Rice has got for the most part. Free safety, 5'9", 192. Little guy up there, Patrick Smith-Young. 89 speed though. Then Cody Jackson. Okay, strong safety, 90 speed, 6 foot tall, Montana Warren. So a very, very tricky offense to go up against this Louisiana team. We know it because we experienced it. I do just want to check if he made any changes to like specialists. So he does have his Mike linebacker, Booker, with blow up at rush right end, his rush D tackles, workhorse and hammer, workhorse and hammer. Okay, that makes sense. Sub linebacker, yeah, of course, Edwards, that makes a ton of sense. And Veal, the 84 speed linebacker in there. Okay, so we'll have to see how he runs the Army offense. There were definitely a few tells when he was in, I'm convinced it was Air Force. It might not have been, but whatever he was in before, there were certain things he'd audible to certain things, and we could expect certain plays. It'll be interesting to see if that stays true, if that's still kind of his offense. But we know it is a pain in the neck to stop. So that's Louisiana. Let's go check out Taxi Cab and his Rice Owls. Sitting at a 70 overall, 71 offense, 69 defense. Very balanced squad here. Rice, very good quarterback. So last time we did a game of the week for Rice, for whatever reason, this guy just kind of disappeared. Kind of like what we had happen in our user game yesterday against Temple. Alejado was just gone, and the backup was in. Similar thing happened to Rice. Hopefully Shepard can stay on the field for this one, because he is an absolute stud, playing up to an 87 overall, 89 speed, 88 excel. You could run a triple option with this team for sure. You could be in the actual Rice playbook. Like we said, he is in Oregon State though. But downhill extender, option king, dot, mobile resistance. You can run with him, you can pass with him, you can do whatever you want. This guy is a total freak. Like, this is an unbelievable battle of the quarterbacks between what Louisiana's got and what Rice has. Then at halfback, Quinton Rampage Jackson, 81 overall, 92 speed, shifty sidestep 360, and gold armbar on a 5'7", 162 pound East-West playmaker. Sure, yeah, that guy's stiff arming everybody across the field. Why not? Taji Atkins, another 5'7" little East-West playmaker with a recoup, sidestep, and 360. Really good 1-2 combo to have in the backfield here for Rice. Now at wide receiver, we do got some speed here, and we noticed Louisiana doesn't have a ton in the secondary. We'll see if these guys are going to be able to get in and get any separation. Artis Cole at wide receiver 1, 84 overall, 91 speed. Drayden Dickman, college football 25 legend. They really nerfed his speed at the beginning of the year, but at least he's up to a 94 now with sidestep and silver takeoff, 94 speed. A couple more 90 speed options here behind him. Got another recoup sidestep. Sidestep always makes me think RPOs, so we'll see if Rice uses those for either Dickman or Walker. I think either one of those guys would be good good catching RPOs. Tight end wise, I mean, solid, 6'2", Gideon East, 79 speed. And Antonio Ferguson, a vertical threat, 6'3", 226, and with balanced, okay. And an 85 speed, Amani Abanikandi. Yep, 6'2", 202 pound, true freshman, 85 speed tight end. That guy might turn into a little bit of a monster. We will see. And not like a Lady Gaga fan monster, like an actual tight end. Like, he's going to be very good. We also see a center at right guard for Rice, just like we saw with Louisiana, with quick step and quick drop. Okay. So again, pretty standard offensive line. Defensive line, we do have a pocket disruptor on one side. Of course, a workhorse is everywhere. We can't escape. Everybody has workhorse on these teams. It's unbelievable. Workhorse and hammer just all over the field. But we do have a pocket disruptor on the edge, so potentially something to keep our eye on. Joe J.C. Chavez, 85 speed lurker linebacker, 6'1", 191, so he is a little small. I mean, that's almost a safety, but that's good speed, and I want to say he made a big play when we watched Rice last time. I'm pretty confident. That name's familiar. And I know DJ Arkansas did. I know he got an interception the last time. 81 overall, 84 speed Mike Mike linebacker, 6'2", 217. That's what we like to see. And of course, he's going to have hammer too. Sure, why not? Put hammers all over the field. And a bouncer on our will linebacker, Cooper King, 5'10", 216. So he does have some smaller linebackers, but they have pretty good speed. Joyner's 2-speed faster and a little bit bigger. I'd be almost tempted to play him. His bouncer, I think, is for like zone chucks, which I don't know if your will linebacker's ever really going to do. Corners. Ooh, this Louisiana might have a good advantage here because we saw how much speed they have at their top 2 receivers. It was 95 and 93 speed. Rice, just nobody who could keep up with them. So we'll see if Louisiana is going to be able to take advantage of that. Of course, it's going to be tougher for them in the Army offense than it would be in a more standard offense. But even at free safety, not a lot of speed, 85, even at strong safety. So very slow secondary for Rice versus 2 very fast wide receivers. It's really going to be a battle of the quarterbacks between Jawan Jennings of Louisiana and Shepard of Rice. 2 very, very good looking quarterbacks. 2 overall very solid teams. A monumental game in Conference USA. Can Rice keep their dreams alive, or can Louisiana bury them in the Houston backyard, put the Owls back in their nest? I don't know what you call the thing is the owls live in that's like inside of a tree. It's not a nest. It's not a burrow. Maybe, I don't know. Whatever it is, send them back, make them hibernate for the winter. Huge game in Rice. Let's get to it. Good luck to Vancy. Good luck to Taxi Cab. I'm excited for this one. Let's head to whatever Rice's stadium is called. And here we go with Vancy's Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns will be getting the ball first here. Rice set to kick it deep. I did notice right before the game started, Rice actually switched to the Oregon playbook, not the Oregon State. So that is good to note. I'm glad I didn't think he was in Oregon State this entire time. Sends a deep. Louisiana will fair catch. Their Army offense will be on the field first. Rice defense going with conservative and aggressive on the option. Okay, so the read key is going to play the quarterback. The pitch key, they are going to be playing the pitch man. Kind of, you know, similar to what we did. Same kind of thought process here, I think, of just keep an eye on that dang quarterback. Can't let him be the one that beats us. Coming out in some flexbone normal to get this game started, the Ragin' Cajuns. I like bringing that deep third down. There's really not a ton we have to worry about here unless it's X dig, but then we just follow the post on the left. Instead, it is a little counter option. Jawan Johnson keeps it. And even with them focusing on the pitch man there, the defense did a great job bringing him down. If we can keep laying hits and for 1 yard gains, we're going to do just fine in this one. Good start for the Rice defense. Now Louisiana coming out in some wing slot weak. And I will say I did watch this game once already and the recording kind of failed. So I did have seen this game. It is a very good game. It is incredible. Shout out to both of these guys. So the wing slot weak is going to be the call here from Louisiana. Little cover 2 from Rice. Going with power read out to the left, keeps it with Bill Davis, shakes his way outside to the left, down the sideline to the 50, to the 40, to the 35, to the 30 before the Rice defense is able to bring him down from behind. Similar thing happened with us when we played against Louisiana. We were a little too focused on that quarterback. Gave up some big runs, and Bill Davis will take advantage if we give him space to run like that, as we just saw. So now a 1st and 10 ball already down to the 29 after just 2 plays. Couldn't start this one much better if you're Louisiana. Staying in our wing slot weak. Looks like a cover 3 now is going to be the defense shading down. Going with a QB. I can't tell. I don't know if that was a read option. Oh, there we go. Nope, it was just a QB wrap. And again, Jawan Johnson. If we're getting hits on him and he's only getting 1 yard at a time, we are doing something right. We are in a good spot on the defense. So another good play there by Rice. Just making sure Johnson is not going to be the guy that beats us. So now coming back out in flexbone normal, Louisiana will be. Rice staying in that penny, I think it is, defense, keeping 5 down there, getting a QB spy in the spot. We like that. There's a little motion going right. Another QB counter option, gets the pitch off by the hair of his chinny chin. Was Johnson able to get that pitch off? He takes a hit, does get the pitch, gets some good yardage, but Bill Davis takes a shot down the sidelines here as well. Looked like he was potentially breaking that first tackle, but help was on the way, bringing him down 3rd and 3 for Louisiana, staying in their flexbone normal. So far, it's just been counter option. I believe is the only play we've seen out of flexbone normal so far. We'll see if we're going with anything different here. We're going with the 0 blitz, and there goes right up the gut. Come down in a spread out defensive line like that. That is just hollering to the to the offense. Just give it to your fullback, and that's why we're hurrying up here too, I would bet, is to try to keep them in a lighter defensive set like this, and then we can try to give it to Dylan Redmond, and that is what we do. I act like I didn't know that's how they scored first. A touchdown for Louisiana. I'm pretty sure that's the thought process. Not entirely sure what the dance moves from Dylan Redmond are there. But either way, that's a touchdown for the Raging Cajuns. A good start for Louisiana. So now we'll see what Rice can do from the Oregon offense, which honestly, I haven't really seen the Oregon playbook a whole lot. I don't know if I've seen it at all. I know it was one of the best last year. I'm assuming it's one of the best again this year, because I don't think there's too much change on the Oregon side of things. But we are going to be coming out in some pistol ace. Johnny Shepard ready to take the snap, hands it back to Quentin Rampage Jackson. Tells the offensive line, get off me. Linebackers, get off me. Rampage takes it right up the gut, setting the tone there with a nice little 12-yard run, just throwing defenders off of him like they're not even there. Now we're in some normal Y off close and going to Y sail. One of the best plays in college football 25. It's not as good in 26, but still good. With the streak up the gut, we potentially could have gotten an A underneath, but we will look for the deep dig right on the, look like around the El Paso region of Texas on that midfield logo is where Rice comes down with that one. Number 7, that is Artis Cole with that reception for the Owls. Getting the ball moving. A nice answer back here so far from Shepard and crew. It's like dead space. Shepard and crew. Wasn't that guy's name Shepard? Might be a little bit of a weird cut there. My daughter just flushed the toilet at 9:30 at night when she should be in bed. Anyway, Shepard and crew. Pretty sure Shepard was a guy from Dead Space, so that's what that makes me think of, Shepard and crew. Now a little return motion going out to the left, going out to the flat. A potential RPO there. Keeps it with a Johnny Shepard. Looked like really good defense from Louisiana. Didn't see any of the pass options open on that RPO. Tries to keep it with his quarterback. Gets brought down for a loss of 1. Now a little trip set from Rice, going to verticals. I mean, this is just a great play. Is all 3 guys going deep on the left. We sneak the halfback right out underneath. Everybody's got to follow the vertical threats. Leaves Rampage Jackson right underneath. Easy peasy pickup of that second 11. 1st and 10 now at the 28. I mean, we're getting a whole tour of the Oregon playbook here. This has been, I like it. I like seeing what Oregon's got, and I like what I'm seeing out of this Oregon playbook as well. The trips looks really good. I believe they have bunch strong offset. There's just a lot of good stuff in here. Going back to Rampage Jackson up the gut. Actually gets brought down by the first tackler that time. That is a surprise. Gets a gain of 3 though. 2nd and 7 for Rice. Now we're going to a little bit of stack Y off. I've never been super comfortable in the stack formation, so let's see what Rice is going to draw up here. A little wheel, trying to sneak out the back there, stem down a post on the left, stem up the in route. Let's see what we got. And got the wheel. That's a risky throw. Shepard rolling out to the right. Looks like a pass lead out to the right. Finds Rampage Jackson sneaking out the backfield on that wheel route. What hands on that halfback. Comes down with it. Touchdown for the Owls. 7-7. High paced. Fun start. Fancy taxi cab. I love where this game's headed already. Now the pressure back on the Raging Cajun offense, and they will answer back with some more wing slot weak. I believe we see this formation quite a bit throughout the game, and for good reason. It is a pretty dang good formation for how this Louisiana team is structured. So we got a QB spy over there on the left side of our defensive line. Another little, was that the QB wrap again? And we saw there that platinum shifty lighting up on Jawan Johnson. That's what makes him such a pain to try to deal with, because if he gets into any open space, he's going to make so many people miss. He's got the speed, the agility. Throw in something like platinum shifty on top of that. My oh my, is that guy a problem. So we're keeping that. I like having the spy on the same side as the halfback, because if it is a run like it is there, typically it's going to be going to the opposite side of where the halfback is. So that I wouldn't like to spy the guy on the right, but to spy the guy on the left, I do like that. So going a little hurry up, keeping him in that defense, and the user looked like he was getting through there to shoot that gap and potentially bring Bill Davis down for a loss. Instead, he trips, gets a whole face full of dirt, and watches Davis pick up the first down for Louisiana as we stay in some more wing slot weak. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it has been working pretty well here for the Raging Cajuns. And what I would like to see is some more like power reads. I mean, we only saw it the one time so far, and it's worked pretty well for Louisiana. And I think that's just that QB wrap, but look at the blocking again, and look how quick those cuts go back and forth with that quarterback. There's just so much to worry about going against this Louisiana offense. So far, I mean, yeah, they scored on that first drive, but they certainly had to work for it. Johnson's taken his fair share of licks here so far. I think the Rice defense has been doing a solid job. Now, a 2nd and 2, ball at the 47, more wing slot weak. And there's just so much you have to worry about in this formation. Is it going to be a run to the left? Is it going to be a QB run going back out to the right? We can pass out of this formation too. Just a lot of things we have to consider here if we're going to be on defense. I like the user getting back. Watch that middle. Yep. And then the playmaker up. And it's... Oh, I remember this now. Crazy they call that a catch. I mean, clearly... we see the ball loose. We see it on the ground after it comes down. Rice unable to challenge it because it turns out the booth is going to challenge it here. But, I mean, we can see on the replay right here. Bang, ball's out, right? Sure looks incomplete to me. Eventually, I promise, we will get a booth challenge on this. Here it comes. That's why Rice wasn't able to challenge it and unfortunately had to burn a timeout for nothing. But even if he was able to challenge it, it turns out he would have burned a timeout anyway, because that is a booth review and that is a call on the field, stands as called. Somehow that is a catch for the Raging Cajuns right down that right sideline. Your guess is as good as mine, brother. I got no idea. Now we're going with some cover 4 on defense, keeping the match. I like taking one of those thirds because we're not too worried about a vertical threat going in that area. So we take that inside quarter. I said the thirds, I realize that now. If we take that inside quarter and bring them down, I think you're pretty safe to do so. But still, Louisiana picks up 8 on that just run right up the gut. Bill Davis kind of getting a little bit of whatever he wants here so far in this one. So 30 seconds left in the first. Flexbone East, our first view of this. I personally like this for the quick runs. It would be to Bill Davis, the fullback dive, I think it's called out of here, I think is really good. Ones the halfback are fine too. And we do try to go to halfback, try to go back to Dylan Redmond. That time the Rice defense not letting him break free. Down for a loss of 1, 3rd and 3. And I believe we will just take this one to the end of the first. And indeed, we are starting the second quarter, 3rd and 3 for Louisiana. Ball at the Rice 28, coming back out in our wing slot weak. Again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's been a lot of this formation, but it's been a lot of different plays out of here. We've seen the power reads, we've seen runs to Bill Davis, we've seen the QB wrap. We saw a pass out of here. So just because he's coming out of this formation, not a real clear giveaway of what we are expecting Louisiana to do, and that's what makes this offense so tricky. Here comes another pass and beautiful defense. We maybe had that. I think we had the corner on the left, but by the time that got open, the pass rush gets home, and we are going to be attempting a 54-yard field goal on the road. Louisiana, a lot of faith in their kicker, and for good reason. It is up. It is right down central. Kicks up, kicks good. 3-point lead now for the Raging Cajuns. The Owls now with an opportunity to take their first lead of the day, calling QB slot option. I love it, especially with Drayden Dickman being your pitch guy. We do just end up giving it to Rampage Jackson, which is unfortunate. I do think it was the right read looking at it, but I just wanted to see the slot option. I wanted to see how it worked, but we'll take our 5 with Quentin Johnson right up the gut. But yeah, see, here's bunch strong offset. Oh, my chair just slid out on me. My little arm things on my chair can like slide back and forth. I don't know why that is a feature. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. I'm going to stop messing with it so it stops clicking. Actually, this is something I wanted to talk about quick. And I meant to do this the first time, but I never did. So we call dagger here, right? So typically this is a streak. You got to drag and this little like up and in. Gotta make sure you guys can actually see my mouse here. Now, this is typically a streak, drag on B, and then this little, I don't even know what, it's like a reverse C route or something like that. Now this is what I see a lot of people do. Is they'll come out in dagger and put a post instead of a streak here. I personally like to keep this streak and put a post on A. Now what's good about having this setup here, right, is you got everybody dragging people over to the left between the post and the drag. He kind of looks like he's on a wheel route or something, but then cuts back to the middle. Hopefully all these zones are following these guys and we can hit this over the middle. But I like it with the streak because you have potential to just hit that streak, and then the post on A gets open a lot. You get a high-low between the post and the drag. But if you guys run dagger, run bunch strong offset, let me know what you like to do for it. We go over the top, try to hit our stem down post, and it is overthrown by Shepard. Intercepted. intercepted and taken back all the way to the house. Touchdown, Raging Cajuns. Patrick Smith Young. Rice from the chance to take their first lead of the day to down by 2 scores. Brutal swing for the Owls. Pressure really on the defense now. Got to keep this one in check. Need some points on this next drive. Let's see what Rice can cook up. And Rice will be coming out in some gun U-off trips, it looks like. We're making sure we got the right guys out on the field. Yep, it is going to be U-off trips. Let's see what we got. My chair just did it again. What else was I going to mention? Oh, I was going to make a joke about cooking up rice. Not important. We are going with the PA scissors play, going to our big boy tight end number 87, cuts his way outside, going down the numbers to the 40, to the 30, to the 20. Louisiana not going to catch Amani Abanakandi, taking it all the way to the house. 87-yard touchdown by Rice. That is how we answer back, boys. Well done, taxi cab. Now we got a game, going back to a 3-point lead for Louisiana. Still 5 minutes left in the second quarter. I told you guys, I told you at the beginning of this game, this is a wild one. This is a wild one. And I also mentioned in the last commentary that didn't save, a nickname for the Rice defense, right? Because of the Rice Owls. I'm going to call their defense the Parliament. If you didn't know, that is what a group of owls is called. So I think that makes sense. I don't know when we're going to use it, but something to keep in mind. Coming out, it looks like in 4-6 bear now against this wing slot week, really trying to focus on stopping that run. Good user defense over the middle of the field, but again, that's the problem with this Louisiana offense. It takes 4 guys to bring the quarterback down for 1. But number 2, if he's got that much time back there, he's going to playmaker somebody up the field. That's kind of on your user. You're really the only one that's going to be able to actually play a playmaker. Your CPU guys are not going to do a whole heck of a lot about it. So you kind of have to, and then that opens up the running lane for somebody like Juwan Johnson to take advantage of. Huge gain on first down for Louisiana, trying to shift that pressure, the pressure cooker, back onto Rice. See if they're able to finish this drive that already gets them up to midfield. I mean, the back and forth of this game is just insane. So now we're going with the little man coverage. There's another run to Bill Davis right up the gut, but Rice is there. The Parliament swarms down on Bill Davis, brings him down for just a gain of 1. Staying in wing slot week, we are going to some 6-1 here on defense. I like, with having the guys so far down, I like having the safety so far down. I like the looks of it. Let's see if we can't get after him here a little bit. There's that QB run again. Just follow your big boy 64, cut your way around with Juwan Johnson. And that cut is what makes him so dang dangerous. I don't know how the CPU actually managed to stay in front of that, but he did. Luckily, it brought him down, but they're already up at the Rice 32. I'm back to some flex bone normal for Louisiana. We've seen this a couple times. I think it's been counter option every time, just about every time. We did get some runs up the middle there to Redmond. In fact, how they scored their first touchdown. So let's see what the call is this time for Louisiana. Staying in our penny, keeping contains. I like that. Hard flats, bring that guy down there. It looks like the counter option yet again. Bill Davis out leading the way. Not doing a great job of it, though, as number 44 runs right through the block of Davis. Able to keep Johnson down for just a gain of 3. Johnson starting to find a little bit of room here, but Rice still doing a good job containing him and not being able to let him just run totally free. Now we're back in wing slot week. It's been their best formation. So we get that. We got some hard flats again, a little QB spy out there as well, it looks like. And this, I mean, yeah, it could be a run to the left, it could be a run to the right. It is the QB wrap. And again, I'm not going to mention it every time. But again, that platinum shifty, where you can take that run that's supposed to go out to the right. I think that was just that QB wrap play again. But he is so fast and has such high change of direction, he can just take that and immediately turn it back to the left. So even that QB wrap play can go to the left or to the right. I'm just amazed watching this quarterback. I love this Juwan Johnson guy. He's just so fun. Now we got a little cover 2, manning some people up, going with the RPO out there. Sure looked open instead. Number 5 of Rice somehow gets off that one-on-one block on his cloud flat, goes and makes the tackle, makes it a 4th and 2 now. What is Louisiana going to go to? Going back to the QB wrap and just no. I was gonna say nowhere to go, but that spin move gave me a little pause, gave me a little hope. But Rice again all over Juwan Johnson, giving him no room to breathe back there, brings him down on the 4th down. Rice Owls taken back over, coming out in some split slot open now. and see what we can draw up to hopefully take advantage and get some points here before half. That streak on X, no, never got open. Eventually that Texas route gets out there. My goodness, did that take forever. But Rampage Jackson eventually gets out of the backfield, gets open on the Texas route. Nice little gain to start this drive for Rice. And back, flipping through some normal Y off close. Looks like we went to some shuffle motion plays, which is interesting. This is a weird looking play. So we have a C route on B, a little hook route on A, then a shuffle motion to the flat on our halfback. Oh well, it's a 2-minute warning anyway. Oh, looks like we might be calling it again. We're still looking at the Rice shuffle. Oh nope, going to mesh spot, I would guess. I'm pretty sure, because it looked like we were going to audible into that anyway. So yes, mesh spot, putting a post on X, so now it's a mesh post. I'm looking at the halfback wheel right away. Yeah, potentially had that, but we still have the drag there to Gideon East, our other tight end. We already saw Abanakandi stepping up and making a huge play. This time it is Gideon East picking up 16 yards, getting us past midfield as we just pass the 2-minute warning. Now, ideally, if we're Rice, this is the last drive of the half. It is going to be Rice ball to start the second half. So even if this ends in a field goal, obviously you'd prefer a touchdown, but as long as this ends in points without Louisiana having a chance to answer back, we are looking pretty good. But there goes Rampage Jackson going right up the gut of the defense, taking a free 7 yards there. 2nd and 3, ball at the 40, 97 seconds remaining in the first half. Let's see, Rice going to, it looked like they called an inside zone split. Yes, they are staying with the inside zone split. Goes right back up the gut. I mean, at this point, I'm just giving that ball to Rampage Jackson, man. He is just our guy. He has been an absolute stud for Rice here so far. He has been everywhere, breaking tackles, run game, pass game, all go through Quentin Jackson. I wouldn't bat an eye at it. I would love it, as a matter of fact. 3rd and 1, I'd give it to Rampage again. But we are going with middle slant. This is a good play. I do like this one. You get the drag and the slant over the middle. A couple deep threats going over there too. But good user defense on both of them. Wow. Okay. And somehow the Rice guys, both of them, cut in front of the Louisiana defender. But the one who was not going to catch the pass stayed more in front. So it just kind of bonked him in the head and fell to the ground incomplete. Now we got a 4th and 1 for Rice just like that. Yeah, I just had those 2 routes going way too close to each other. That's crazy. So I think 17, who was supposed to catch that, is the first one who kind of teleported his way down in front of that defender. And then the other guy was just kind of along for the ride, who I believe was Drayden Dickman, and just caught that ball square in the head. Incomplete pass. We'll take a very quick break so my daughter can show you her cats. There they are. She's going to come this way now. Take a look. Look how beautiful they are. We'll count this as our halftime entertainment for the day. Remember, the camera's up here if you want them to see it. Put it in front of the camera. This way. There's 3 kitties for you. What a halftime show we have got here. The Rice just never fails to disappoint. Good night. Good night. And let's get back to the action. A minute early, but a heck of a halftime performance put on there by the Rice Owls. They always just show nothing but the best hospitality and kindness for everybody. Always appreciated. So 4th and 1, we're going for it. Going with the verticals, a drag and a Texas route. Texas is going to be there. Yeah, it looked like maybe shaded underneath there for Louisiana. Looked like some 5-yard hooks. And of course, it's Rampage Jackson. You think you're going to bring him down short of that goal line? Think again, buddy. He just steamrolls his way through the defense one more time in Louisiana. Poor reaction there, taking it out on that poor kicker. He had nothing to do with that. I guess they just can't take it out on Quentin Jackson because he will just break all their tackles, so they go for the kicker. Now Louisiana's kicking off at the 50, or Rice is kicking off at the 50. 56 seconds left. Obviously, this is going to be a touchback. Louisiana ball. Let's see if they can potentially get something back here before halftime. And for that, we will be coming out in flex bone normal. Again, grabbing that deep safety. This is the little X dig. We got Bill Davis wide open, but Jawan Johnson just throws it into his feet. That was a gigantic gain for Louisiana if they were able to complete that pass. He had nothing but green grass in front of him. Jawan, we got him. We need something a little better than that, brother. 17-21, 52 seconds left. That was a great opportunity for us to get a whole lot of yardage. Now 24 comes and lays the lumber on that poor halfback. That was Xylon Perry with that carry for Louisiana before he got absolutely smoked. Looks like we did have the RPO outside to the right there, but either way, no big deal. Now for Louisiana, we're okay with this clock running. At 3rd and 8, Rice isn't taking any timeouts. We're not going to take any timeouts. If we just take it to half, it's not the worst thing in the world. Looks like we might have even had true clock on there. That clock went pretty dang quick. So going back to trips, tight end offset, blocking the halfback, trying to find some time. Chuck one deep to Sampson Jr., our speedy 6'4" receiver, just over his noggin. And that was actually backup quarterback Walker Howard subbed in for that one. After Jennings missed a drag, I understand not trusting him to throw a deep one like that. And with that, we will take to halftime. Luckily, we've already had our halftime show here, so we'll just see you in the 3rd quarter, where Rice will be starting with the ball here. Kick return back to the 18-yard line. 3 seconds off the clock. 5:57 left here in the 3rd. I mean, that was kind of pointless to say, wasn't it? But Rice coming out with some more 2 tight end pistol sets. A deep post again. He likes his deep posts. I do too, to be fair. So I see where he's coming from. He's going to take off and run. 88, go get a block. 88. Come on, buddy. Little awareness from our tight end there could have gone a long way, but a Johnny Shepard will just keep it himself. Nice little gain of 8 to get this drive going. He's staying some 2 tight end. Go to something different here. Why off trips? It looks like, God, this Oregon playbook looks really good. I guess I shouldn't act surprised. Like I said, we know it was good last year. Going with a little RPO pop. I mean, there's nobody on Dickman. There's nobody on Dickman. Yeah. I mean, good move by Dickman, guys. Wide open, nice easy read, take your yards. I wouldn't have hated audibling to something and putting Dickman on a streak or something like that. There was just nobody above him, but still a chunk of change. Now we're just going back to Quentin Jackson. Again, always gonna be a smart move. Quentin Jackson has been on a rampage here today, and there he goes again, finding a gap through that defensive line, again breaking a tackle. Takes a second guy to bring him down. 6 carries for 40 yards, doing a lot of damage through the air here too. This has been the Quentin Jackson show for the Rice Owls, and rightfully so. I mean, he has by far been their standout player. Give it to him again, 100%. 2nd and 1, Quentin Jackson, right up the gut. Right up the gut. Easy as can be. Easy peasy. Even, well, wasn't super easy, but 38 on the defense came off that right side unblocked, but Jackson will not be denied. He picks up that 1st down. Now, Rice past midfield, looking to extend this to a 2-score lead. Bunch quads offset? Jeez, this playbook. This Oregon playbook, my goodness. We might have to look into this a little bit more. That deep wheel route on the tight end. Gideon East it's Abenakandi, I think, is their faster tight end. East has a step on him if you want to try it. Instead, we try the halfback, a little dicey one there, rolling out to the right sideline. Falls incomplete though. Yeah, I could have sworn Abenakandi was his faster tight end. I could be wrong on that. It looked like we potentially had a step. It would have taken a pretty perfect ball from Shepard, and with these teams that we use, I understand not really wanting to risk a guy throwing a perfect ball, because chances are he ain't gonna do it. You got 2 vertical threats over on the right, a deep in on Gideon East, a little drag out on Artis Cole there, then going to the flats. We got the drag. Oh, we moved that to a post, but that was just fantastic defense by Louisiana. We had just nowhere to go with that ball. Good job even just throwing it away, keeping it a 3rd and 10 instead of a 3rd and 25 or whatever that would have been. Much more manageable now for Rice. Let's see. I'm guessing they came out in all verticals. Or in verticals, yep. And then a Texas route, yep. That's just kind of what we've seen. I know I've seen this game already, but that's just kind of the pattern we have seen from Rice here so far. Big blitz coming, and that's why that play is so good. Exactly right there. I'm actually going to back this up for a second, because this was a perfect example of why just this whole concept is good. This crosser on A going from the right to the left. You have the Texas route coming from the left to the right. His user is the only guy on defense in the middle of the field, so he has to make the choice. Are you guarding the Texas route, or are you guarding the crosser? Then you just throw to the other one. So great read by Rice to see that, see which way his user is going. Again, only user in the middle of the field. Is the only defender in the middle of the field is his user. He's got 2 guys to watch here. Which way is he going? You go the opposite way. He follows the Texas route. We hit the crosser to Gideon East. Huge conversion on 3rd and 10 for Rice. Down to what, the 15-yard line already? These offenses are really cooking here so far. And now we got some Wildcat. There's just everything in this playbook. We do keep it with Jackson. Louisiana's Montana Warren does a great job getting back there, bringing him down for a loss of 2. My goodness, I have to look into this Oregon. This Oregon situation is calling for some further investigation, because this is looking awful nice. 2nd and 12 though, we are back in pistol, going with a little play action, roll out to the right. Let's see if Shepard is able to get any room out there, and no siree Bob. Notori Brown gets in there and gets the sack before he could even finish that play action. Now we got a 3rd and 19 at the 24. What are we gonna cook up here for Rice to potentially... I mean, you can get a first down technically. You just have to get this ball inside the 5 somehow. Or do we just set it up and make it a little easier for a field goal? I think either option is good. With 4 down, yeah, go for that quarterback run. When you have a guy like Shepard, he might be able to really make some things happen. He gets 12 yards on that. 4th and 7. Now we got an easy field goal, which is what we're going to do. Take the 3, make it a 7-point game. Still a huge win for Louisiana's defense, though, keeping it a 1-score game, getting their offense back on the field, where they will be coming out in flex bone normal here yet again. So counter option or X dig. I feel like I've been the only real 2 things we've seen here consistently out of Flexbone Normal. It is X dig, user all over them, and just nowhere to go on that. And that's really what makes that X dig so good, is the drag route from the wingback. The computer has almost no chance of guarding that, hardly ever. So it really is on the user, and Taxi Cab Rice did a great job following that, recognized the play immediately, just stuck on Bill Davis like glue. Gave Walker Howard absolutely nowhere to go with that ball, and it's X-dig again, and again the user follows Bill Davis, but the sneaky little dig route there from our outside receiver, Shelton Sampson Jr. gets open right over the middle of the field. The ball back at the 50 for the Ragin' Cajuns. Now we're back to our wing slot week. Let's see if we get back to our run game out of here. I mean, the run has definitely been very good out of this formation. The passes have been a little dicey, so we'll see. I mean, I'd imagine we're going back to a run in this situation. Like, these specifics I don't remember. I remember the final score, a few of the big things, but this I don't. We go back to the power read. Jawan Johnson able to find a little gap between that defensive line, picks up 4 yards, setting up a 2nd and 6. Like to see the power read again. Sure worked for us last time. With the backfield like this, you can't go too wrong between the 2 read options. So now some U-off trips. I don't believe we've seen this out of Louisiana yet. 6-1 is going to be our answer on defense. A little cover 3 buzz. Put the cloud flats down there. Love it. Shade down, shade up. Turn those into cloud flats. Try to get in there on Bill Davis. Got absolutely steamrolled by the left guard. Your user did. Don't think I didn't see that, Taxi Cab. Your user got destroyed there. But it kind of freed up your defensive end, so you took a sacrifice, you took one for the team. He's able to get back there, make that tackle, keep it a 3rd and 6. Let's see what Vancy and his Louisiana team is going to come out in. Flexbone normal, X-dig or counter option. Those are kind of our 2. Oh, it's Walker Howard here, though. So I would guess this is a pass and not an option, considering the quarterback in there. But we'll see. Yeah, yep, and it is back to X-dig. Nowhere to go this time. He's got the... That time he had the zones over the middle of the field. Looks like they might have been set on 5. Maybe that was a shaded underneath defense. I didn't really notice. But they were right underneath that dig. He followed the drag as far as he needed to go. But yeah, with Walker Howard in there, if we notice that, which I typically don't, I'm very bad at noticing those things, I wouldn't be worried about an option in that situation. But now we got Juwan Jennings back. Empty Academy. I mean, this has got to be a pass, though. There's some good passes in Empty Academy. Of course, I don't remember the names of them right now, but there are some good ones. MT Academy is a very fun formation. Goes with the curl outside to the right and held onto. Who is that? Number 20 what? 29? Rodney Huang? Huang with an H in front of it. Holds on through the contact on the short little curl route. Louisiana. It would have been getting late a little early there. if they weren't able to pick up that first down, but they do, so we don't have to worry about it. Minute left in the third, 1st and 10, going back to that counter option, gets the pitch out to Xylon Perry. Somehow, A for effort there for number 90 on Rice. Being a big boy like that and trying to dive and make a play like he did, kudos to you. Granted, you failed, you missed the tackle completely, but you gotta respect the effort. And now we're back in flex mode normal, and I've noticed a distinct lack of Bill Davis on the field for Louisiana. Like, he's the one who should be catching that, but right now we can see it's Bill Davis, or it's not Bill Davis, it's Xylon Perry and Rodney Huang are in the backfield for Louisiana. Going back to the counter option, that time Juwan Johnson is able to find some space, picks up the first down, 12 attempts for 65 yards. Juwan Johnson getting his work in today, but he is piling up the hits here. I wonder how the wear and tear is affecting him at this point. He still seems to be moving pretty dang well, so it seems okay to me. But 45 seconds left now in the third. The 1st and 10, going to some spread offset. So this we did see him do in our game against us, and it was like some read RPO option or something out of here that was really, really good. Really hard to stop. That one is just going to be run up the middle to Daryl Smith. Picks up 3 yards. Time ticking down here in the 3rd quarter. See, Louisiana might get one more play in here before we head to the 4th. And we will be going to some empty academy, I believe this is, once again. Yeah, I think that's the only empty they have. Empty academy goes to the little screen over there to the right to Mr. Daryl Smith. It gets brought down short of the sticks. 3rd and 4. Can we get this play off, one more play off before the 4th? I doubt it. I doubt it. Oh, we can, and it is a QB run to Juwan Johnson, trying to find some gap up the middle. What? What? So Johnson fumbles, and somehow Shelton Sampson just picks it up on the bounce? So that ball was loose for a while. It kind of shot out back into the right. And somehow his receiver is able to come away with this. Runs into the pile, gets hit, held up, brought down. And Sampson looked like he was in the middle of getting tackled. He was getting brought down to the ground. But hey, great awareness. He gets the ball. Rice maintains possession, or Louisiana maintains possession here. Heading to the 4th with a crucial 4th and 4. I don't think you can kick here. I mean, of course you could, but I don't think you should. Ball at the 21, a 4th and 4, down by 7. I think we go for this. Get back in wing slot weak. I like that idea. It's been our best formation. Stick with it. Going with some man coverage, a QB spy, keeping contains out there. Yeah, just got to watch Johnson. Getting a timeout from Louisiana. Okay. Let's regroup. Let's rethink. And we are still coming out in wing slot weak. I mean, it's still been their best formation, so I still like the idea. Now, on defense, we have 2 hard flats, it looks like, over there on the left. Interesting. We'll see how that works. 4th and 4, though. Here comes only Russian 4. Here comes the defensive line. Nowhere for Johnson to go. The right side of that defensive line chucks one up. Jump ball in the end zone. Now that is a parliament of owls. Maybe not the whole defense, but there were 6 or 7 of them around that jump ball. That's a parliament. What a stop. What a hold. That right side of the Rice defensive line just came screaming after Juwan Johnson. Forces him to just chuck one up. Now Rice takes over, a chance to potentially put this one away. Rice going right back to Quentin Rampage Jackson. Why wouldn't you? The defense converges on him. It still takes 3 or 4 Louisiana players to bring him down. Luckily, it was only for a gain of 2. So now we're going to some wing trips weak. I mean, there's so much time left. We can't even really think about potentially burning this whole clock, but it'd be sweet if you somehow could. I wouldn't hate that RPO read bubble call that we saw on the play call screen there. I don't remember exactly what it was. Yes, indeed. So now let's watch out to the right. Okay, we got to keep that run. Oh boy. Oh brother, did we have to keep that run. Vancy flew down for that RPO. He even jumped there. He was ready for it. He was 100% ready for it. But instead it just goes to Jackson, who picks up the big first down. Rice already does have 2 clock on. Makes sense. Want this to shorten this game at this point. We do go the run back up to middle to Quentin Jackson. Breaks his first tackle yet again, but brings him down after only a gain of 1. Now, how aggressive do we want to get here? if we are Rice? Do we want to keep running the ball? Because we've had pretty good success running. Or do we try to make something happen? We audible to the slip screen. Love it. We haven't seen a slip screen yet today. Big blitz comes, blocking sets up beautifully for Quentin, cuts his way back inside. Superman effort again there by 24, unable to bring him down, but slows him down enough so at least the Louisiana defense is able to rally around and make that tackle. What a time to go to that slip screen. First time we've seen it all day. Catches Louisiana totally off guard, and a heck of a job by that Rice offensive line to get some downfield blocks there. Springs Quentin Jackson for a huge gain. Now we're down to 3 minutes. Now we start thinking a little bit more about that clock. And Louisiana, a little lucky, number 13 was back there to stop that, because Jackson was breaking that tackle and was spinning out to open grass. But 13 comes down to help save the day for Louisiana. Still a gain of 4, still working that clock. One more play here before the 2-minute warning, assuming it's a run or a completed pass. Going back to the slot option. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Let's see. Let's watch that right. Yeah. I mean, it sure looked like also unfortunate spin move. I think if we just kept that and ran straight. Look, you see it on the replay there? Looked like Louisiana was ready for that spin move if we could have just ran right past him. But that edge, it looked like he was crashing towards the halfback, but as soon as we kept it with the quarterback, he changed course real quick and got right on a Johnny Shepard. So I think it was the right read. It was just a good play by the defensive end, I guess. Now take it to the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 4. Rice ball at the 45. I don't know what their field goal kicker is like, but we need at least one more first down, I would have to imagine, to be able to get into field goal range. And it would really do some wonders for the clock if we can pick up one more first here. Going with a little mesh streak on X against the press. Don't really have X. We had the halfback wheel wide open against the big man blitz. What a time to send it there for Louisiana. And forces the incompletion, because we had the drag too. But the pressure just gets in there too quick, and Rice is going to punt it away. So this is an interesting spot. I mean, if you go for it and get it, game's pretty much over. You got the win. It's done. Punt, we're giving Louisiana a chance with a minute 45, minute 50, minute 52, excuse me, and still 2 timeouts. So I wouldn't have hated going for it. But I understand punting it, because that's a 36-yard field position difference there. We'll be back in flexible normal for Louisiana, and with Juwan Johnson back in there again. So this could be a few different things. It is the QB counter option again. The user for Rice nearly got in there and brought him down for like a loss of 5. Ended up getting picked up at the very last second. But I think not having Bill Davis on the field here is really hurting Louisiana. I don't know if he got hurt. I didn't see him get hurt. Maybe it's just a wear and tear thing. But that's by far their best halfback, and he's been out of this game for a long time. Very unfortunate for the Raging Cajuns. Now we're staying in flexible normal. X-dig? A flipped X-dig. Okay. I like the thought process there. We're just chucking one deep, hoping for the best, and the... we got the best. We were hoping for the best, and you know what? We got it. That's our 94 speed, 6'4" big boy getting up there, climbing the ladder, climbing the back of the Rice corner, and coming down with that ball. Now, I don't know how Rice's corner stayed in front of that, because that is a very fast wide receiver. We know Rice's secondary, I mean, they're not super slow, but they're not the fastest in the world. So fantastic job of him staying in front of that. It's a shame it didn't matter as the receiver just got big. And then Juwan Johnson on the counter option again, and there's that little speed burst. The little shifty kicks in. He finds a gap between the defense, heads toward the sideline, cuts it straight up. Touchdown. Raging Cajuns, 23-24. An extra point away from tying this one up with a minute 27 to go. Unbelievable back and forth game between these two squads here. You knew Johnson was getting loose at some point. Here comes the extra point, and oh my god, it's a fake. And he had it. And he had it. I love the play call there from Louisiana. Just that rush just came in just a half second too fast. So we had that guy wide open. Now, what I will say is I don't know why we don't onside kick this. I feel like we have to onside kick this, especially without having a timeout already. A field goal isn't the best, but it doesn't totally kill us. We have to give ourselves a shot to get an onside kick here, whereas a first down ends the game, essentially. So I think we have to try that onside kick, but I do want to make sure I shout out Vancy for that fake field goal attempt, the fake extra point. I love it. Absolutely love it. It's a real shame. I mean, I don't want to say shame. I'm not rooting for one team or the other, but it would have been pretty dang cool. It would have been cooler if it worked. And then Rice has a minute and a half to potentially go get the win. And we had it too. That's the worst part, is that was wide open. Wide open, but unable to come down with it. So anyway, Rice now 2nd and 7, 1 timeout remaining for Louisiana. Best case, we get a stop here, get a stop on the next play. We get the ball back with about 30 seconds left. Right? Is my math right on that? So you can run 40 seconds once. Each play takes about 5 seconds or so. Yeah, so we take a timeout now. So now if you're Rice, what do you do again? 3rd and 6, do you risk passing the ball where first down 100% game over? But if you don't get it, Louisiana gets the ball with about a minute 5 to a minute 10 and no timeouts. Whereas if we run this ball, then we can run it down to about 35 seconds before we have to punt it. That takes another few seconds. You're giving it back to Louisiana with about 30 seconds. So is it worth it? I think it is. I think I like the idea of passing, maybe like an RPO. This is kind of a goofy one. Oh, we're going with a little hot routed slant on our RPO here. I bet that's probably where we're looking. But his user is going to be lurking right there. We just keep it with Quentin Jackson, unable to pick up. I mean, we picked up 2 yards. I say unable to pick up any yardage, but that would have been a lie. Picked up 2, 4th and 4. Now we are going to have to punt this one away once this clock runs out. And now Louisiana has the ball at the 44-yard line. And we already saw this kicker drill a pretty long one earlier. No timeouts, but 29 seconds in college. That is plenty of time with the clock stopping on a first down. Coming out in some trips. I'm almost think you would have come out in your wing. That wing formation, and Walker Howard is in there, so it's going to be a pass play. We have the drag. We try to force it deep to the post or the crosser or whatever you want to call it. And Jabari Ellison comes down with it for Rice. They hold on. They keep their conference dreams alive. The Rice Owls pull off the gigantic win against Louisiana, move them to 6 and 3. Louisiana is going to drop down to 8 and 2, and this conference race is tightening up quick. Let's go check out the box score in the conference standings, see where we all sit. So following that game, here is what the Conference USA is looking like. Texas State sitting on top right now, 8 and 2, 5 and 1 in conference. Louisiana 8 and 2, 4 and 1 in conference, and the Rice Owls 6 and 3, 3 and 1 in conference. An unbelievable race shaping up, and UTSA and FIU are not out of it yet. They would need some tiebreaker luck or something, but with only 2 losses in your conference, you typically have a shot. So you just got to win out and hope for the best, but you're still alive. You're still fighting. They both locked up bowl eligibility, which is nice. But between Rice, Louisiana, and Texas State, I think we've got a very fun finish coming to Conference USA. Texas State made the conference title game last year and ended up losing to Southern Miss back when they were coached by our guy Zoned, and now they're helmed up by Gavin. So I don't really want to show the other conferences right now because we're recording this one actually pretty late. We're into our following week, and some games have been played, including ours against Toledo, and I don't want to spoil anything for that. That one's going to be coming out either tomorrow or the next day. It's a huge conference game for your Old Dominion Monarchs. And then we are going to have, and I can't show this one either because they actually just finished. The Mountain West is going to be our next game of the week again. I know we do the Mountain West quite a bit, but we have the number 1 team in the Mountain West, number 9 in the country, Utah State, taking on number 2 in the Mountain West, Wyoming. That's a rematch of the Mountain West title game from last year. Boater undefeated at Utah State. D-backs fan, I think, is like 7 and 2 or something like that. It is a very good matchup. It's a very good game, so that'll be coming a few days after our user game. But that's how CUSA sits. If you want to see the full standings, I go over them before our user game next time, and probably before our next game of the week. So like I said, the recording schedule's kind of got all messed up here a little bit. But yeah, that is it for this game of the week. Again, shout out to Taxi Cab. Shout out to Vancy. Both you guys have been great additions to the Dynasty. I appreciate you guys being in it and putting on such fun games. Hope everyone enjoyed this game of the week. I will see you guys next time. Until then, and I hope you enjoyed the halftime show. Here she comes again. Until next time, guys. Super Katie, take it easy. Say bye. Bye, poopsie butts.